Good week of practice. Really excited to get back on the floor. Um, got a lot of work done. I think our guys have seen some improvement in the areas that we got to work on defensively. Effort, doing the little things. I think they've done a good job with that. Watched some tape. Gave them Tuesday off, and we'll practice today, and then tomorrow we'll head out and get ready to play. So early game, 2 o'clock, so they're excited about that. Injury news, Cullen got a concussion against Wyoming, so he will miss this game and could miss further games. So his is day-to-day, but I think he's out with the concussion protocol for this game. And then we'll have to take it day by day. And I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know how long he'll be out. So he was hit on the last play of the game. The doctors and trainers got to him before I knew anything about it. They did a heck of a job, and that's just with the school protocol. So he's been cleared today to continue through the protocol. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what that is, but there's a protocol in place, and he'll continue to do that until he's ready to play, and then they'll let me know. That'll be up to the doctors only. Could be, I think San Jose's done some nice things. They got beat last night by Boise. I think they're playing some young kids. They got a new group. They got 4 really good freshmen. So it'll be a good test with us without one of our starters and third leading scorer and our point guard. So we get an opportunity for a lot of other guys to play, and I hope they're up for the challenge, and we play well, and we need to get a win.
Do you know yet the starting lineup in his absence?
It'll either be Tim or Jordan. I haven't made that decision yet.
How different does this team become when Cullen's not in the lineup?
Well, I just think it's you got experience with Tim, and it's a little bit different than Jordan being new, but I think those guys are capable. I think that you're taking away 14 points a game from a team that scores 76. So I think X can make up some of it. I think he did the last game. I think we need to get some production out of Sam, but it changes, but I think they're ready for it.
Is there a possibility, you said you take it day by day, I mean, you're planning for the possibility he could miss the rest of the year? Is that a possibility?
No, I don't think that's a possibility. I just don't think JP, with the concussion deal. To be honest with you, I didn't go to his doctor's appointment today. I think his mom went. So he just came in and told me he was cleared to start doing the protocol, whatever that is. So I let the doctors do that and go by that. But I just know he had a problem, and our doctor's on top of it. Dr. McGrew, who's been with me, who's been part of this for 9 years, is really, really good, and he's the one that was with him. So I trust those guys and what they do, and our school's got that in place, because I think it's a serious issue not only in our sport but other sports.
Coach, you said you guys had a good practice, and you wasn't into practice. So how encouraged are you with taking what you have to go? Like, you missing those 14 points with those guys?
No, I'm encouraged. I like my guys. I like all our guys we have. I'm not afraid to play any of them. I think you'll see Dane play. I think you'll see Anthony Mathis play. We'll give you some different looks. I think you'll see a 4-guard lineup a little bit. I think we have some options. It's just how well they're going to play and how well we're going to score the ball. It comes down to, I've said this long, it comes down to, if you're looking behind you or looking back, you're looking the wrong way. We need to look forward. I was telling Jeff a couple of days ago, we're 3 possessions away from being 13-5, and I think our guys don't understand that because they're so young. We're literally 3 possessions, and I think they're understanding that now. I think they're understanding that after the Wyoming game, and I think they're growing into that. But the one thing that hurts us is not having Cullen, just because he knows everything and he puts guys in places, and he's second in the league in assists, so that'll hurt us. But I think those guys can do it. It's just that we're going to have to figure out how to score the ball.
The concussion thing, obviously, football gets all the attention on the concussion thing, but you guys have now had 3 concussion protocols in the last 2 seasons that I'm aware of. Jordan Goodman last year, Devin this preseason, was it Devin this preseason? And now Cullen.
Well, I think it's just in place, Jeff. I don't think before the time that we had, I don't think there was that much of an issue with the concussion deal, if that makes sense. And I think that ever since our schools put in that protocol and tried to be ahead of the curve, which is good for our athletes and good for our kids, it protects them. I think, we've had more of that, if that makes any sense.
It does, but it does take some control out of the coaching staff's hand, which.
Well, we shouldn't have any control anyway. Anything that's a health with a player, I shouldn't have any control of. Now, if a guy's got a cold, I might have a little control on that, but I think that's all. I don't think a coach or a coaching staff or any coach should have anything to do with a player's health and well-being. I just don't think we should. I'm not trained for that. I'm pretty good at looking up WebMD when I need something, but I haven't studied that long enough.
You mentioned X possibly stepping up, picking up some of the
Yeah.
scoring load, but outside of maybe a couple games, we haven't really seen that out of X.
I thought he did it the last game. I thought he was really good the last game. I think the thing that X has got to do is, like I watched film with him yesterday, just him and I just said he's just got to play with unbelievable energy and attack the rim when he can. If he's open, shoot his jump shot, but really, really be, be a really, really good defender, and do some things for us offensively. Where the thing about X that people don't realize is he's probably, if I had to pick, if you just said, all right, you got to pick 2 guys or 3 guys that really know how your system. Well, one of them's not going with us in Cullen. The other one's out for the rest of his career in Devin Williams, and X would be a pretty close. He'd be right in that mix. So, and that's one reason why I called him. I said, X, I got to get you on the floor just because you know our system, you know what I want. So you're going to have to play in different combinations and different deals to get you on the floor. But, I think Wyoming was just a perfect example. If he goes in and does what he's capable of doing, how productive he can be.
Coach, how tough is it to play somewhere where you don't get a lot of people out for the games and stuff like that, and then you got a team that's been struggling, that you're facing a team that's been struggling. How tough is it to?
Well, I think the biggest thing is our guys have to realize they've got to grow and mature into think. Doesn't matter who you play, doesn't matter the level, doesn't matter the team you play. You have to play up to your capabilities, and you got to play. They got to bring their own energy, their own effort, and they've got to play against a team that's capable. They beat Wyoming and a team that just beat us. So our guys have to mature in the sense that they got to go out every game. It doesn't matter if it's San Jose State or UNLV or San Diego State, Wyoming. It doesn't matter who you play. They got to grow that they're trying to get better and trying to take care of how they can play and do the little things. Our biggest thing is we don't do the little things, and we got to continue that. And that's my responsibility to help them with that. But you guys have watched us. And if you watch the first half of our Utah State game, you think we could beat anybody in the country. And they have to understand that. They can't go on. It doesn't get any easier. When you play to that level and fans, you guys, coaches, players, you see that, then you know what they're capable of doing. And if they don't go up to those standards every day, then there's, it's a learning thing.
Is that a tough thing to kind of get in the guys' heads?
Yeah, it's tough to teach, but once you play like that, or you play like we did against Nevada, or you play like we did against Fresno. We beat Fresno by 17, and Elijah, our leading scorer, second leading scorer in the league, didn't play half the minutes. So guys are capable, and you try to reassure them of that. That's kind of how we do it as coaches, try to give them confidence, but they've got to go out and do that every night. And if they do that and defend and do the little things, then they're going to be successful.
Is Cullen the only starting lineup change, or is there some follow-up to Elijah not starting last
Possibly.
So the discipline is...
The discipline's not over yet, no. No, the discipline's not over yet.
What do you expect out of San Jose State?
I think they're just going to come out and play. I think they've they're playing with some freedom. They're not uptight. They're young kids. They're just going through a tough stretch because the league's tough. I mean, the league's really tough, and it's not easy. And I think there are a bunch of young guys learning it, and you know, they're just gonna come out and play. I mean, they're gonna do what they're asked to do from their coach, and he's got them playing pretty decent. And I'm sure that, you know, if you don't recall, 2 years ago when we had our really good team, we struggled up there. We barely got out of there alive. Alive being winning. But that was a tough game for us. That was kind of when Dede was the first time he started, and we got some things. But, you know, it'll be an interesting test for us.
From what you've seen on tape, kind of not only for this game, just kind of over since they've been in the league,
Mm-hmm.
they have struggled. I mean, from what you've seen, why is it?
Well, they won 7 games in 3 years, 7 D1 games. So, you know, that's tough. And, you know, he took on a big challenge. Woj took on a big challenge. He's done a good job. He's a good coach. And, you know, they're just learning, but their talent level's better. They got guys that can play, and they're just young.
They have pieces now that are capable of winning some games. Did you feel that last year? I mean, the talent level's
Oh,
better.
I didn't feel it last year because when we played them, they had kicked off 4 players and had football players. So I didn't get to see their full ensemble of players before all that happened.
So without it, I mean, obviously coaches, especially coaches, aren't going to disrespect another team, but there is a
No, you
sense
can't
this
do
year-
that. You can't do that now in this league.
and there's
Like
a
our
sense
guys
this
can't
year
do
They
that.
can knock you off.
Yeah.
legitimate, honest things.
They can. Anybody in this league can knock off anybody. I just think that's just the way our league is. And that's what, when you have a team like ours, you have to prepare them like you're playing the top team in the league. And that's the way our guys got to figure that out.
You guys have had a huge disparity between the margins of wins.
Mhm.
It's like plus 17. Your average margin of loss is like minus 13. It's almost like a 30-point swing in your wins and losses overall. But there've been a few single-digit games. 3 games all season long. You guys have played 5 points or less, and you've lost all 3. I don't know if that's a big enough sample size to read much into it, but down the stretch of close games, do you feel this team yet is capable of?
What we haven't done, Jeff, and you guys know the game, what we haven't done, we haven't made free throws when we had to when it mattered. And then you can look back, the Rice game, we have free throws to go up 4 with 20-some seconds, and if you make that free throw, it's over. If you had free throws in the Wyoming game, and we haven't made free throws down the stretch to seal games. Now that's concerning to me, and I think that's one thing that they're going to have to learn from, and hopefully they will.
What do you think that's due to, Coach? Just a lack of focus when that happens?
No, I just think that they have to. You have to have some success at that to breed confidence into it. Yeah, and if you don't do that, and you've missed, I mean, we missed 12 free throws against Wyoming. Got beat by 2. I mean, you missed 12, and then, you know, we've had. If you look back at the Auburn game, and I talked to Jeff because we were out there, we're a 1 point. It's a 1-point game with under a minute to go, and we have 2 possessions to take the lead, and we don't do it. So I mean, we've been there. We got to learn from that. We got to do that as a group. It's all of us. It's me too. So that's my responsibility, and that's one thing I got to help them with.
The fan base, the program, and the players who you often reference as being new together,
Right.
Seem to be really up and down in terms of confidence level about this program.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a program?
Confidence level as a team or the pro?
Just overall, I mean, after a win, like after Utah
Mhm.
State, you guys blow them out. People are thinking, wow, this team is, as you referenced, that first half in particular, this team can play with anybody.
Right.
And then you do something like the Wyoming game,
Right.
where you lose to a team that people think are down. Have you had a team, in your experience, maybe just in the 9 years here, that it has been so different from when it's good to when it's bad and struggling, like the end of the Rice game or the end of the Wyoming game? It seems to be up and down, and the fans seem to be buying into this kind of roller coaster one week to the next, and the players seem to.
Well, I think there's a lot of factors that went in the Wyoming game. I think there's a lot of factors in the sense that, you know, you're going to get their tempo. We had some issues that we had to address, which hurts you. It hurts a young team. There was a lot of fouls called. And you had a player that's probably one of the better players in the league go 7 for 11 from 3, and it wasn't like he was making horse shots. So it was kind of like lightning in a bottle. The way they played, and the crew that we had, and the player that he had a great game. And when that happens, you're gonna have one of those games, and that's one thing that you can't let that happen, and our guys got to understand that. So we've been up and down. I think any time that you have a team like us, and we're 19 games in, so we got to grow a little bit. I think that's one of the reasons why I think a new group, 3 guys that didn't play together last year, and to be honest with you, we haven't had, we're playing 10, 11 guys that haven't played together. And then I don't think people realize the loss of Devin Williams.
Coach, you anticipate a fast-paced game because, like at the beginning of the year, Coach Welch was saying that he likes to have, with the clock change and everything, he wanted 80 to 95 possessions, but they're averaging 72 possessions per game, and you guys are up there. 70.
Yeah, I think it'll be an up and down game. I think last night when they played against Boise, I think it was 94 to 69, or it was something like that. So I mean, that's a lot of points. So yeah, I think they'll get up and down. We'll get up and down. We just got to do. I think what we have to do a better job of, and I've talked to our guys about this, and we're working on this. I think after opposing team scores, we have to do a better job of executing. Like when we miss and we can get out in transition and do some things, we're really, really good. I think one thing that we don't do well as an offensive team, even though we can really score it compared to a year ago, I think we're averaging 15 points more than we did last year, 14 points more than we did last year. After scores, we got to make sure we get good shot. We got to get a shot on goal. We got to get a good set, a good offense, and I think we got to work on that. I think we have been, but I think with our guys, they just think that they're going to score whenever they want to score, and that doesn't work. And then it's just like defensively, it can't be we'll give you a basket. I mean, you got to get some stops. So I think our guys got to get better execution after a made score.
Coach, with Jordan Hunter, you said him or Tim will play.
Right.
Jordan's actually shooting like 49% field goals and 39% threes, but it seemed like he passes up a lot of shots. Do you have to kind of tell him now he has to make up for Cullen and he needs to shoot when he's open? Because it seemed like he just passes up shots that he's open.
Yeah, I've been at a loss at that. I don't know why he does that. So I don't think there's nobody told him he couldn't shoot or shots he shouldn't take. I just think he passes. You're absolutely right. I think he passes up tons of shots.
And he's a freshman. I don't know. He just passed up some shots.
I don't know, but he's not. It's not like I'm Xbox where I can push that red button and make sure he shoots it when he's open.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's never been told not to shoot. He's never been told. But I told him just to play. But I'm going to have to make a tough decision if I'm going to start him or Tim. But we'll decide that as a staff. But Jordan's a capable player. It's just that he's got a small sample size. He's only been in the line 6 times. He's only shot 13 threes. I mean, he's got he's equal on assists to turnovers. So I mean, it's just a small sample size because he hadn't played a lot of minutes. But he's had opportunities, and hopefully he'll play. The thing with Jordan, I think what he's got to do is he's got to play at a faster pace. He's got to play. He's got to use his athletic ability. He's got to use his speed, and if he does that, then he can really help us.
Regardless who you start, Jordan or Tim, are they going to both see significant time?
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. They'll probably split time or whoever plays better, but they're going to have to play because they're the only other point guards that I have, and that's how we're going to go. But I think you're going to see X play a lot. I think we'll play some 4 guards. I think we'll play Dane. Probably significant minutes because he's done so well in practice, and I got to give him a chance.
What's your evaluation on 4 guards? When you rolled it out, it seemed like he has.
It's pretty good. It's just hard offensively because we don't work a lot on it. We've had to work a lot on it, so we just got to figure that out. But X has done a good job with that.